I want to thank the creative minds and youngsters of St. Martin for that wonderful song that they came up with Justin Bieber. It's too late to be sorry or something like that it was. I think it was very creative. I actually like the song. I see Deputy Prime Minister is here laughing. So it's good to have a little laugh or a little joke sometimes. In addition to that, I also want to make mention that earlier in the year, I started talking about having derelict cars on the side of the road or on the sidewalk or on the main road or roads that are being used by heavy vehicular traffic. And after the accident that happened yesterday in the Ebenezer area, I believe it was with a school bus, it brought more attention to having cars that is not licensed, in terms of there's no more number plate on it, or there's an old number plate on the car that's on the sidewalks or just park on the road, that we are giving the individuals or the owners of those vehicles some time to remove your car from the public sidewalk or the main road or roads that are being used by vehicular traffic in the morning, especially in the cul-de-sac area, South Reward, St. Peter's, Sanders, Betty's Estate, Ebenezer. Because what happens is when an incident occurs, traffic is backed up because most of the roads, majority of the roads, becomes one-way roads because of these cars that are parked on the road or parked on the sidewalk. And again, I want to commend the Minister of Justice and also the police department for doing an exemplary job with the parking on Front Street and Back Street. It will continue because, again, we made mention of it here that the billards were not moved for you to park in the areas. It was moved to assist pedestrians to walk freely, individuals with disabilities to maneuver freely and more easily on Front Street and Back Street. And we'll be coming to the completion of Back Street very soon, and we will continue this work in consultation with the Ministry of TIAT on Front Street. Also, what we will be doing in the near future is we will be removing the light poles that you see in Phillipsburg, the big, huge concrete blocks that the poles are standing on. They also will be removed, and you will get a single pole. You will get some benches so individuals can sit when they're tired. So again, it comes back to how we are working as a government, and it also reflects to the people of St. Martin. It's not to come down with a heavy hand, but we saw how one isolated incident yesterday caused hours of traffic, and individuals trying to get to their destination, trying to get to their workplace on time was simply held back because of an accident. And why? These things can be alleviated, or it can be simply a thing that won't happen so bad or so drastic, because if vehicles have the ability to maneuver, then things can move, the traffic can flow a little better. And we are looking at alternative routes. And the Minister of Justice had a discussion with me yesterday that I believe he had with a citizen of the country that came up with a brilliant idea that we will be looking into in terms of how we can get traffic to move more freely in the cul-de-sac area. But a big hindrance is a number of vehicles that are parked on the road with no number plate or with old or existing number plate. It simply means that the car is not in use anymore, or probably it's for sale, but you're not allowed to have the car parked on the road. It's a practice. One would say it's probably part of just the things that we do at times. But because of the situation, we need to come to the understanding that, look, listen, we need these roads to be cleared. Inspectors will be going out. A sticker will be placed on your vehicle. You will be given a certain amount of time to remove your vehicle from, one, the sidewalk, and two, parked on the road, especially in the areas like I mentioned earlier: South Reward, St. Peter's, Sanders, Ebenezer, Betty's Estate, because of the early morning rush hour. Cars are coming in to drop their children to school. Individuals are coming out heading to work. Do not, please remove your vehicle if you are one of those that have the vehicle parked in that situation. Also, again, I'm appealing to the garbage haulers to do a little better than what you're doing right now in terms of picking up garbage in a timely manner and be more consistent. And also the truck drivers, like I said last week, you will be fined. You will be pulled over and you will be fined for not having your trucks covered when you're delivering aggregates or boxes or trash. It is something that I know the Minister of Justice and I had a discussion, and you can see already Back Street and Front Street. So they will be moving on to other areas and tackling these issues. So I just wanted to bring you up to date with some of the things that have my concern and how we will be working on them. I want to thank you very much.
Good morning, Ministers. My question is directed to Minister Emmanuel. Minister, you seem to be highlighting the amount of days that there wasn't any fire on the dump. And my question is this your way of addressing waste management on the island? And if no, what are you doing to adequately address waste management?
Okay, if it's my way to address waste management by not having fires on the dump, fires on the dump was an occurring event, if I should call it, or use that word, a couple of months ago, or reoccurring constantly. And there were a number of complaints and voices, and everyone in the community would make mention about the smoke and the harm that it's causing and the damaging effect throughout the neighborhoods. And when I make mention of it, it's just to remind the media themselves that are not covering it right now, that there haven't been fires for a very long time. Because when there is a fire, it is covered all over, whether it's on the media, whether it's on the radio program. It doesn't matter which avenue or which outlet there is. We hear the alarming news about it and what the government is doing about it and why this can be solved and the dump and all sort of things you would hear. But now that there's no fires for such a long time, no one is covering it or no one has anything to say about it. So to use a term as to solving waste management, I don't really understand the direction of the question, but no, it's not. It's not a way of solving waste management at all.
What are you doing?
Well, there's a number of things that we are doing to solve the problem. Like for one, I've made mention earlier, a couple of months ago, that we have signed an MOU with a waste-to-energy company. And in the coming days or weeks, they will be having a discussion with GEBE to finally tackle the mining and the remitting of the landfill. And by doing that, garbage that we know it now simply would not be done or would not be disposed of in that manner anymore. So garbage will not be disposed on the landfill anymore, but it will be disposed in a facility that will have it separated. But what we are doing right now, before this process takes place, like for example, I should have mentioned that earlier, because you still see people putting on the side of the road mattresses, you still see them putting fridges and stoves, and those things are called white material. If you go to the landfill now, we have sort of sectioned off areas where you put those white material, where you would put concrete material, where you would put old steel, old cars. We have section off areas. You know how it was a couple of weeks ago right there on Swaliga Road, when basically cars and white material, old fridges and stoves, microwaves was overflowing onto the main road. That also have been taken care of, and no one mentions that anymore. But the complaints was every day and every day and every day. We have solved that problem by telling everyone and making it known on the landfill where it should be disposed of. So I would say that we have come a long way in terms of tackling or mitigating or trying to solve the immediate effects or problems that we have been facing with our garbage situation. But again, it's not a problem or it's not a solution that's going to be had one day. It is something that's going to have over term or over some time. And we all need to come to the understanding or have the mindset or the change of mindset that the way that we dispose of our garbage or the way we view garbage, we can't do it so.